my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
Deanna, we're back. Another episode. This one's not as exciting as most, or at least, well, there's a lot of things on sale today.
Yeah, I was like, it's exciting in the fact that there's a lot of drama, but it's not so exciting for the market right now.
No, in fact, let's just go ahead and get this part of the story out of the way. We're going to take a look at it's pretty much red across the board. You can see our market cap trending down.
Yeah. That's pretty low.
Things are on sale. Bitcoin's down at 72. Market cap's 2.45 trillion. Fear and greed index is at 14. But when it goes this low, this fast, there's typically narratives that are driving the situation. What's your take on, what's making this happen? How are we here? We thought there was going to be legislation. Maybe that's part of it. What do you think?
Well, schmoverment always messes stuff up, right? Like at the end of the day, I blame schmoverment. So, but it's two. So we know the clarity bill, right? We have a schmoverment shutdown. So the clarity bill did not make it through. Well, it's getting there. We
talked about that on our previous episode. Yeah,
I know you called it. Like you're nailing it. I was a little more optimistic. I guess I should not have so much faith in our politicians sometimes.
It felt like we were close, but I just knew, given the opportunity to shut the government down, it seems to be part of the playbook right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then the next big thing is, the whole island guy coming out, and they're tying all kinds of OGs from crypto to island guy, and even saying island guy might be Satoshi Nakamoto.
Probably activates the censor. And I know you and I want to have fun on our show. Very serious allegations, crimes. Some stuff that's pretty wild out there that it seems like crypto may or may not be in the middle of. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the episode. But I do have some good news, because I am the one who will tell you when things are going bad. Do you think we're at a bottom? Are you buying now, Deanna? Are you hodling? You buying? You selling?
No. It's too new. The news is just coming out. I think you got to give it a second to kind of cycle through. But I will tell you, my strategy at the moment is I am slowly accumulating, because I do believe when you've worked in crypto long enough, you see these ups and downs. You got to ride through. I have no doubt. There's too much money. It's too big of an industry. There's too many, BlackRock and Vanguard didn't buy in because it was nothing. So understand that they know how this industry works. They know how to control people. I feel like they're pushing these narratives. They're suppressing it. If they don't have to sell for a loss, they can make others sell for a loss, and then they can buy cheap and have more. So my thoughts are, I am not panicking. I'm not concerned about it. I'm accumulating at this time, and I think we're going to see a rally at some point.
All right. And so let's be clear, not financial advice. Do your own research. Your risk tolerances are not ours. I did a few weeks ago call what's transpired. I said it was coming and that we were going lower. Yep. And then I found something that in all the research that makes me believe at this point, we're going higher. Do your own research, not financial advice. It's called the Wyckoff distribution. You've seen this before?
Oh, I have not.
Oh, yeah. This is the way that you can extract the maximum pain theory into reality for retail. And if you look, the Wyckoff academically is this black line and has different waves that it advances through before it reaches a spring level and takes off to accelerate to new higher levels. This allows major institutions to accumulate at the lowest possible levels. You can see that this blue line shows the track that we've been on. And lo and behold, here we are right around February 15th. Not quite there yet. It's only February 4th. But this is where, based on the alignment of the timing, we would expect a spring to occur and we'd start to climb back up the mountain.
Look at you.
Now, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Remember the last time we talked, it wasn't that long ago, middle of January, didn't know what the narratives would be. There was some retail optimism out there. And I've learned over time to take my emotions and park them because the market doesn't care. It is here to extract maximum pain. And I know there's a lot of people. You said you had a friend who was complaining to you, no?
Yeah. She's like, I bought XRP and it's down at $1. And I'm like, it's just hold it. Just don't sell it. Hold it. If you can take it, hold it. It'll go back up. It's not a guarantee, but I'm extremely confident it'll go back up. So to me, Bitcoin is, Bitcoin's great. I think Ethereum is the secret sleeper where there's a good chance to make some good money.
All right. I don't know about that. I'm not going to get into specific coins here. What we are going to talk about is the island guy a little bit past some of the optimism that I now hold. Now, exactly when, exactly how, what the narratives will be, I can't tell you. But I'm not sure that the narratives don't come after the price action in many occasions. But right now, the island guy is a big deal. And your take on this, I think it's dragging the market down. I think the island guy has been involved in this place and space for a long time. But what's your take? Yes, no, maybe so, no.
No, I think all the people that I know that were at that point in time, yes, he made a contribution, but a lot of people made contributions. I don't think he was heavily influencing. But he knew everybody. So understand that all of this went super deep. Who knows? You know what I mean? Sometimes I really think that we are living in a simulation. Like it just, it's like Black Swan all over, but I don't think he's Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't think he heavily influenced crypto or Bitcoin. He may have contributed. He may have been a small part of it, but I don't. Honestly, I think the elites are using this opportunity to tie it together to tank the market.
To acquire more? I mean, is that why they would do it?
Yes, of course. That's why. Okay. Why do they do half the stuff they do?
Well, if it doesn't make common sense, it makes financial sense. And there we go. But I still think I'm going to tie some things together for you to tell you that I think there is a relationship, but you've got a video that you want to share from Bruce Fenton. Do you want to set up who he is and maybe what the video is about a little bit, or we can play it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Bruce Fenton was, I forget if he was the founder or if he ran the Bitcoin Foundation for a while, but he's definitely one of the originals in crypto. He's very well established. He runs the Satoshi Roundtable. He's got many projects, very educated man, ran for Senate in, I believe, New Hampshire, did not end up winning, but he has an insider perspective that I value. I think he's a very intelligent person. I generally follow his views and some of the ways that he thinks, and I have no reason to disbelieve him when he says this.
All right, so let's check out Bruce Fenton's take on the island guy and all the emails. 3 million pieces of correspondence are out there now.
Funding Bitcoin development. Did Epstein have involvement? Absolutely no evidence whatsoever. And even if there was, Bitcoin doesn't work that way. So did MIT have influence? No, also no. The developers, when we stopped funding those developers, MIT started, part of the deal they made is that MIT wouldn't tell them what to do. It would have been a huge scandal if MIT told them what to do. And if they did, everybody would see what they wrote. So if MIT was like, here, have this secret, whatever code that would, help Epstein somehow or something. I mean, there's just no such thing. But even if it did, that doesn't control anything. They could have written all the code they wanted. That still wouldn't have been part of the network. The Bitcoin network would have had to accept that through the nodes and the miners. So it's just false on top. I get how people who don't understand how it works could think that, but it's just false on top of false on top of false.
We'll let it stop there. False upon false upon false on top of it.
Yes. Yep. But I mean, it is there is the potential that he made a donation at some point, but he made a donation to the Media Lab at MIT, and the Media Lab was responsible for funding the digital currency initiative, which MIT worked on. So,
well, a couple things there. One, he's right. The code isn't compromised, right? He couldn't, but even though the island guy would peddle influence, I mean, that's what he did with the power brokers. He worked to connect the dots and the people in the schmoverments in a way that created greater influence for those involved. So I think all he had the ability to do was influence, but the code is not influence. That is pure. No. That is true. And I tend to agree on that front.
Yes.
But you know who also worked at the MIT lab, right?
Who?
Your buddy, your brother from another mother, Gary Gensler.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
And by the
Yes.
way,
Good old Gary. Good
Deanna is
old
not related
Gary.
to him, so I don't want any hate mail or hate commentary coming her way about that.
Yeah,
She's
please
not
don't.
related.
Please
I'm
don't.
just
No,
making fun,
not
having a good
ever. Not
time.
even close. Yeah.
Doesn't think like that. But he obviously was tied in close to this
Yeah, I mean,
island
it
guy.
kind of makes you wonder why he all of a sudden took such a favorable, why they propped up Sam Bankman-Fried and Carolyn, whatever her name
Ellison.
was. And
Yeah,
yeah.
Ellison.
Like, why did they prop those two up? Probably because they were the pansies. They were the fall guys. Like, you'll never convince me that the schmoverment had nothing to do with that. I think they 100% did it. And I think that they did it for whatever reasons of nefarious things they may or may not have been doing that they wanted to hide from the public. And they found guys that when it went rogue, they could cut them loose and they were going to take the fall. So, I'm not saying that they necessarily forced SBF to do the shady things he was doing, but I think that they knew exactly what they were doing when they picked those two to be the poster children of crypto.
Oh, for sure. And they were patsies, and the rug pull, whoever executed it, did it at a point in time after all the political donations had been made. Ironically, it was probably about a year too early because it turned out that crypto became a single voter issue. In other words, if somebody was engaged on crypto, they voted for a candidate who supported it versus a candidate who didn't support it, even though in my mind, it's kind of both sides of the aisle. But I'm going to take us back to the island guy. And I've got this theory, it's only a working theory, that he was involved in what was going on. And we're going to get to a place where I'm not as well versed as I typically am. Not that I'm all that well versed anyway. But when we get into kind of the religious components of this, it gets a little fuzzy for me. And so you may have to sort through this, or we may need to have our listeners, they can they subscribe, comment, give us better clarity on this. But I'm going to walk us through a scenario. And by the end of this, my brain is going to be scrambled and really need somebody to help me glue with some duct tape the whole thing back together. So let me start out here, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So I'm mentally preparing myself.
Oh yeah, this is going to be the journey of journeys here. Who knows where we're going to end up? Knowing though that the map is not the journey. But here's an email from Richard Kahn, who served as the island guy's accountant, if not consultant accountant. That was the role and the responsibility. And so he sends over this email with a link. And in it, it comes with the backlash that Coinbase was having some problems because they acquired this company called Neutrino. Now, are you familiar with Neutrino?
I am not.
Okay. It's basically, and here's the irony, and Deanna, please explain this to people that are watching, listening, checking in. With blockchain, is it that you record the transaction of where the money moved and later you can go erase it? Is it that with the blockchain that it's erasable, or is it permanent?
No, it's permanent. It can't be changed. It can't be erased. It can't be undone. That's part of the attraction of it, is its immutability.
So, ironically, Coinbase, in the middle of all this stuff in 2019, we're going to get there in a second, but I want to point this out. Kraken pointed out that the acquisition of Neutrino would not make it at Kraken because they have ethics. His words, not mine. Do you know Jesse?
I do. Yeah. And it doesn't surprise me.
He's pretty. And so as we look at this, and then I'll just bring this whole thing, they've inked their largest deal, Coinbase, with the feds yet. Mind you, this is 2021, where the thing that we're dealing with today about the icy weather out there, it's not really there these days. You familiar with what I'm talking about there? Because they signed a $1.36 million contract to provide ICE with financial surveillance software. Did you know that? I didn't know that till today.
I didn't know that either.
So guess where Coinbase is in 2019? Mind you, Brian has said a few things along the way. Is he afraid to take a position either? No. He'll say things. He's in the middle of this schmoverment issue. So I'm going to stop sharing this and take it down another path real quick. There's a lot to unpack here.
Wow, this goes so deep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you remember what happened to Kraken?
Shortly
after? So
like,
I'm gonna forget the screens and all this stuff. I'm just gonna talk to it because you lived
do
it and you know it.
Like it's a podcast or something.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? It's only like we've done 4 or 5 seasons of these, only 500 episodes. Here's the deal. So Kraken, Jesse's popping off. Coinbase is doing what the influencers from the island want them to do by taking on Neutrino, this questionable company. So the Schmoverment, the SEC, releases charges against Kraken for operating as an unregistered securities exchange broker dealer and clearing agency. Except that there are no really laws about this. Meanwhile, what happened to Coinbase? Tell them what they've won, Deanna.
They won a first row seat to all Schmoverment deals and brokerage between all of the institutions. Yay!
And they got their, instead of an ICO, they got their IPO and went public. And they're working with ICE and internal operations, just like you said. And what is Jesse, our friend, your friend? I don't know him, you do. What does he get to do to settle this issue? What tax does he have to pay? Well, basically, he says he's going to discontinue offerings as an unregistered crypto asset staking as a service program and pay a fine of $30 million. And he'll be exonerated and he'll move forward. Now, do you think he's happy about that at that time?
No, but this is politics, right? And it gets so frustrating because I feel like no matter where you go, this ends up infiltrating every industry, every corporation, as soon as you get big and people get into power, all of a sudden it becomes these power dynamics. So no, it doesn't surprise me at all. And this is the exact type of stuff that frustrated so many people trying to be innovators in crypto, is because now not only do you not have clear regulations, but you have these politics that are coming into it. So it's either like you play our game or we're coming after you. And who wants to do business that way?
You don't. You'd like for there to be a level playing field in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But the things that are coming out from the island guy don't seem to lead us down that direction. And so that's where I get to very quickly. If his accountant is sending information about this acquisition and the island guy's deal with everybody is leverage, and Coinbase pre-pandemic is working in support of ICE, pre-pandemic is getting into a little bit of setup for the initial public offering to do all that they need to do to make sure that they clear the hurdles. And they have this very questionable thing that the Kraken CEO calls out, and he gets tagged with a lawsuit, and $30 million later probably was told, why don't you just let us do our thing?
Yeah, well, what year did Island Guy die? Because it feels like this all happened. This is like, was he even alive at this point? Because it felt like he passed away before this.
I don't have the exact date, but I'm going to find out. It says August 10th, 2019.
Oh, okay. So it was right. But so all this correspondence is going on. He's in prison. He's already been convicted and he's in prison at this point.
I can't say that definitively, but you would think, yes, as the stuff is playing out outside. I don't know exactly.
Well, the email was dated 2019. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not masking. I thought that's what I saw. It said.
Yeah, you could very well be. But as I clear like the intel, I move on to the next piece of information because we want to bring all the best to our listeners.
Of course.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, moms.
Hi, Chuck.
Let me keep going because I was like, all right, Deanna. So the island guy gets an email from his accountant. He says there's some questionable stuff going on. The Kraken CEO speaks out about it. He gets tagged with a lawsuit. Coinbase gets the ICO. What's going on with Neutrino, though? That's where my brain goes to. Why are they such questionable that Jesse, right, is going to call them out about being unethical and then get tagged? But somebody in the government didn't like that. So check it out. The company only had 8 employees, and they moved to Coinbase's London office, and they are a separate entity because they serve external clients. Cool? And so what
Okay.
is Coinbase going to do with this? They're going to research new assets, okay, and ensure the cryptocurrency exchange can identify undesirable activity without handing over internal information to external companies. What? We're going to find the crime but not tell anyone what it is. What was that movie with Tom Cruise about the precogs where you would be convicted of crimes that you thought about?
Is it Minority Report?
I think it was.
I
Yeah.
think it was too.
You win the prize. You win Final Jeopardy today.
Yay!
Oh,
I
and
won
this is where it gets
something.
really, this is where it gets back to the island guy. And this is where I told you I'd get a little bit fuzzy because I don't know all the details of this. But there's an Israeli blockchain analytics firm that identified a Coinbase account that was funneling Bitcoin donations to a military political group, Hamas.
Yeah, that one. You can see it on those guys right there.
Those guys. And I said
guys.
the word, and this episode is trash and toast. I hope for the 3 people that saw it, you can see that because of the blockchain, as Deanna described earlier, it's immutable. It's there. Coinbase declined to comment on this incident and said the acquisition was already in the works for some time. And now they own that company as an in-house analytics platform who has connections not only to the island guy, but to a military political group that's caused a lot of, how do you say it, controversy, problems, issues. Wow. Wow. Does that make
Okay, but did we tie this to the island guy?
Your neck stand up? What's up?
Did we tie it to the island guy? Where did the island guy come in?
So the island guy's accountant is bringing this issue up and pointing out that there's a problem here. It's in the emails that, yeah.
I got
and
you.
Remember, you're right. The code on Bitcoin is not impacted. It's the ability to peddle influence that I think he was exceptional at. That's what he did. I mean, he did it at a worldwide level.
Yeah.
And so he is involved in cryptocurrency.
Sure.
He does have the ability to influence the influencers, for lack of a better way to explain it.
Sure. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he used it. It wouldn't be surprised if he blackmailed people in it. I would not be surprised. Like, just so we're clear, I know the number one concern with everybody and Schmoverment was black market, people doing illicit trading and sending money and anti-money laundering. But it is used for that. So is the dollar. You know what I mean? Any currency you have they're going to figure out how to do it because they're just trying to move currency. If I have $1 million in a Bitcoin account and I want to give you $1 million, I can send you $1 million right now. I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to request any permission. I just need your wallet address. I get the money. I send it to you. The money's done. You withdraw it. Now, you can always go back and tie it. There's always a paper trail. Are people going to do the work to go in and actually, because you'd have to be able to connect the Bitcoin account to the third party in order to connect them together. And so they're going to be able to obfuscate maybe the endpoints in that way, but there's also no incentive. If the Schmoverment was doing this, there's no incentive for them to actually even investigate it because they were doing it. So it's like these layers just get deeper and deeper and deeper about how crazy insane like all of this fraud is. You know what I mean? Like all this, I don't know. Like you just step back and you're thinking, I literally feel like I'm living in the end times.
Yeah, you might be. We might be.
Yeah, it
and
feels
look,
like
you
it.
just said it. Like when you look, you can go back and scrape it and find it. So here's what I'm looking at. Based on shared inputs, we can tell that the blockchain transactions for this Hamas, I'm just going to say it, were signed by addresses that are operating on Coinbase company wallets. Holy smokes. And Hamas is struggling with getting funds from the Israeli government. And we've heard of other Islamic extremist organizations doing this past thing over the several years. So I think the difference, though, between money and blockchain, the money, if you pay it in cash, you can't track it. If you do it on the blockchain, it sticks around forever. And then, I don't know who the person is, Levy continued. It's still an active campaign. It just started. Wow. Yeah. And the thing to me about this that's so telling, it's, who is it? Itzik Levy, the firm's founder and CEO. Who is the founder of? Okay.
Look, so I just go back to it. Like, everybody's playing the game. Learn the game and play it with them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, take advantage of crypto. All of these people are taking advantage of crypto. And if you're out there and you're still not figuring out how to take advantage of it, understand you're on the losing end of the stick, because everybody else is taking advantage of it right now in some way, shape, or form. You know, and it feels like that's just becoming more and more and more and more evident.
What do you mean? That you get yours while you can?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
I'm taking the value of what you're saying, what you're putting out there. Yeah.
Yes. If they came up with this to figure out how to make money off of it, if the elite are doing it, not that we should do everything the elite do, but if this is this is a money making thing, then figure out how to make money with it. You know what I mean? There's so many opportunities in the industry that, you know, not learning it and not getting behind it and not embracing it is putting you behind the power curve. It's coming faster than everybody thinks. I think the cross intersection of AI and blockchain is absolutely going to blow, like digital currencies. Like, the world is about to explode in a way that people just don't even understand. People are so busy getting upset about the news.
First or explode? Which one's coming first, the implosion or explosion?
I don't know. It'd be crazy if they happen. I feel like the US is imploding right now, right? Like, there's a really weird dynamic going on in this country. But that's the thing, is they're keeping you so focused on the drama. They're keeping you so focused on the news that if you're not taking these moments and opportunity to actually sit down and educate yourself, then you're focusing on the wrong things. They already know and understand and are using this technology to the most of their advantage, and they're distracting you from learning it and having those same opportunities. And if you're falling for it, like, it's there, you know what I mean? You can do it. Take your mind off of that and bring it over to somewhere where it makes you money. Does that make sense?
So you ready for this?
Of course.
And I could be wrong, but boy, would it be brilliant if this were true. Okay. Not me, but the powers that be. Have you been to an electricity location where Bitcoin is cranking and whirring?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of juice that gets pulled.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of compute power is being utilized.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that compute power is being established to protect us against climate considerations and to protect us, you know, provide infrastructure for all the AI compute power that we're going to need, it'd be a pretty brilliant idea to ramp up Bitcoin and then at some point pull the rug on it and say, hey, here's Satoshi, right? Because here's the other thing in all this. We still don't know who Satoshi is. Fair?
Sure.
You may know.
No, we don't know. I mean, there's lots of speculation, but nobody knows. We know it's definitely not Craig White.
The guy who claimed to be, the one who said he was, is definitely the one that is not. Yeah. A judge, I think, found that to be the case. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot to contemplate, but to your point, if it's the opportunity that the elites are taking advantage of in terms of when to invest, the Wyckoff distribution is a great chart. We showed it earlier in the show. And right now, even though it's a lot of red, remember, that's when things are on sale. Not my risk tolerance is not yours. So do what you will do. Yes. Liquidity matters with banks. It matters with institutions. It matters in your home. So you want to make sure you have enough liquidity in your investment cycle that you can afford to lose money or look at a chart and see that it's red. But at some point, these cycles move forward. And when they do, they move fast. And this cycle, everybody was expecting it to be a 4-year cycle, Deanna. What happened? Are we in a 5-year cycle, a 6-year cycle? When is this thing going to blast off? Do you know?
No, I wish. Well, according to your chart, it's going to be soon. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think you have to get past all this news and we'd have to get some kind of clarity on the Clarity Act. Or the irony there. Clarity or chaos? That's a previous episode. If you haven't seen that one, go back. We're hilarious.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. We're always funny.
In fact, we're always funny, especially when we're not trying to be. You know, so when I look at the FTX episodes that we did, and we thought it couldn't go any lower, I think that's when Luna came out next, right? Their stablecoin got discombobulated and
Oh,
it
yeah.
tanked and they
Yep.
went bankrupt. And then there was and then when you thought it couldn't get any worse, I think, was it Galaxy at that time? They
Yep.
went bankrupt. And then there was this cascading effect of like, boom, boom, lower, lower, lower.
Yep. Celsius. That guy ended up going bankrupt and going
There
to
we
jail.
go. That was the one. It wasn't. So, and maybe Galaxy did too, but it was just boom, boom, boom. So I just have the sense, I don't know what I don't know, but that there's going to be some more things that are uncovered. I mean, look what you and I have been around this space, and look what we didn't know about what was going down in 2019 with the bell cow, with Coinbase, the chosen ones.
Yeah. 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 And I was already like years into the industry at that point. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show you, if you're focusing on what they're trying to make you focus on, you're playing the wrong game.
All right. So what are you looking at in the weeks ahead? And to help us close out this edition.
Me personally, I'm using this as a buying opportunity. Top 5 are always my favorite, but I'm just going to slowly accumulate little by little so that if and when the market goes up, I'm in a good position. That's my risk tolerance. Do your own research, but I'm going to take advantage of it.
Do you choose to look at your account on the daily, or do you leave it sit when it's in a place like this?
I leave it sit. It depends. Sometimes I get excited and I'll look at it, and then sometimes I'm busy. We work a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, that's a problem.
Yeah. But
and I'll tell you what as I said on a few shows, and I'll say it one last time here, it's knowing what price you couldn't imagine that you could actually acquire this at, knowing that the exchanges without any governance right now, like there are no laws. You do not want to get into options, and you want to set limit longs at a very low level so that you can buy. You're not going to be able to react fast enough. This weekend, I was even trying to get in on the exchanges. They weren't responding quick enough for you to grab something if it dips. So you want to have a trusted exchange, and then you want to have your limit order in at a low enough level that you'll be excited that you get it.
Oh, how funny you just said that. So funny you just said that. So a bunch of stuff comes out about bad news in crypto, and then all of a sudden you can't buy when you want to buy. Like, does this feel like maybe a coordinated thing?
Oh, it does. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So take advantage, try and buy, try and get it. Listen to Jim. Well, do your own research, but if you're going to try and buy, listen to Jim and set yourself up.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my